Hey, so Sean, we're here to talk about, I think as most of our listeners know, we offer full service property management, which means matching the right tenant with the right property,
hmm
taking all the maintenance calls that come through, the rent collection, court if we have to, all that good stuff. We're excited to share that we've launched a new service now called back office support, and really just wanted to talk a little bit more with you about it and share what that is. So I guess, Sean, if you want to just kind of kick it off, like, what is it? Who is it ideal for? What services do we provide? All that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to be releasing this for 2023, and currently called back office support. I guess the name is pending. We might change it in the future, but for now, I think that is a good description of what it does. And basically, this program is for investors, who need some help managing their properties. But are not ready to kind of turn everything over. They want to remain in control and in charge of making key decisions, which obviously, if you work with a management company, especially a full service firm, and you hand that over, you're kind of more passive than you are active. And a lot of landlords get nervous with that. They might have an apartment building that they've owned for 20 years or a bunch of single family homes. And, they're highly involved in managing of those properties. And while a lot of people don't want to be highly involved, there is a large percentage out there that want to continue to manage their own properties. So we were thinking, like, what do these investors need? You can't be everything at one time. You can't be doing the leasing and the management and the maintenance and the accounting and handling tenant relations and dealing with the contractors. Like, there's only so much time in a day. So if they don't want to hand everything over, what could we help them with? And under this program, you can leverage Rentwell's like in-house resources, to handle small details of overseeing your real estate investments. So what does that mean? Like, what would Rentwell be doing, and like, what would you, the investor, be doing? And under this program, Rentwell would help with rent collection, so the tenants would pay us. And what does that mean? So you can go to our website, and if your tenants have banking info, if they have a credit card, they can pay online, which is a major advantage. They can also go into various stores like a Walmart or a CVS and make a payment. They could drop off payment to our office. So you're no longer the person that's got to be worried about the rent collection, where they're constantly going towards you at all hours of the day. They can simply pay online or make various other payment options that we have available to them. And then also we can, we'll do owner draws for you, like on the 10th, the 20th, and the 30th. Our job is to collect all the rent, and then we can run like a rent roll for you, like say on the 5th of the month. Typically, rent's due on the 1st, and you have the 5th to get it in. If your leases are a little bit different, we can always, change that around. But for this example, that's typically when it is. We can run late rent reports for you, so that way you can see, okay, in my 20-unit apartment building, we had 18 tenants pay on time. These are the two that didn't pay on time. And then you can make the next steps as far as, going down that process of, collecting rent for them. And, if you have to go to eviction, kind of take those steps. So, rent collections is a big one that we'll be handling. The second one really is like fielding maintenance calls. We have our staff, obviously in an office 9 to 5. We have a call center after hours. Back to that online portal that your tenants can make payments for, they can also submit work orders. So I always tell clients and tenants, if it's non-emergency, just submit it online. They'll get it, take a look at it, and get out there. If it's an emergency, pick up the phone. And then we have an emergency phone number. We have a call center. So rather than you, the investor, being the front line of getting bombarded with all these phone calls and texts, they can simply call us or submit a work order. We will field that work order and then dispatch it to you, the investor, and then you can take it from there. You could also maybe have like a go-to general contractor that handles, maintenance for all your properties. We could also send it to them directly. This way, again, you're not the front line for maintenance, as well as you're not the front line for the rent collection. And then I think third is really like the reporting. I think one thing I see with investors, especially when they come over to Rentwell, I'm like, can I see, a rent roll? Can I see leases? Can I see, statements? And they are not very organized. They rarely have any of this documentation. So, With our software, you as the investor can log in, through our website. You can get monthly statements, you can get yearly statements. You can have all the tenant ledgers on there. You can have all the tenant leases. We can set reminders for when your tenant's lease is coming up. Something. I mean, I used to forget. You get a bunch of different properties. It's like, all right, did I renew them in June, or was it 2022, or was it 2021? It's impossible to remember all this. So we can automate that where you're going to get reminders for lease renewals, and we're going to get reminders for perhaps like a rental license or something like that. Maybe where you live it has to be done yearly or every other year. So that's kind of like the big thing that I see, helping investors is the rent collection, fielding the maintenance calls, and then helping with some of the reporting and bookkeeping for the property. So that's kind of like the overview I see.